coming up.
The Circle F Brahman genetics that we're using are superior to anything that we've incorporated here in the past. Basically putting more weight on the scale.
We're not seeing the issues with the heat affecting the fertility of the bull. We are seeing more cows settle in this excessive heat in June, July, and August.
Take a look at new high-performance Brahman genetics next on The American Rancher. Hello, and welcome to The American Rancher. I'm Pam Minnick. Since the early days of the American beef industry, the heat and insect-tolerant Brahman breed has been the foundation of ranches across the South. However, Brahmans in the past had a reputation of lackluster performance on the rail. So several breeders have worked diligently to significantly improve Brahman carcass performance over the years, giving ranchers everywhere a reason to take a fresh look at Brahman genetics. Woody Folsom and his crew at Circle F Farms in Baxley, Georgia, are one of those breeders.
I was the only child. My mom ran a convenience store, and my dad was a frozen fruit manager at Winn-Dixie. We had a little 50-acre farm and different types of row crop, and we always had cattle. Back then, my daddy was really interested in Brahman cattle. That's all he wanted to have was Brahman cattle.
Soon after graduating high school, Woody was hired as a new car salesman at a local dealership. It was there that his lifelong passion for entrepreneurialism began to flourish.
In 1996, I bought my first Chevrolet dealership. And basically, when I bought that dealership, I had to liquidate everything that I had was liquid. 2001, I decided that I felt like I had everything going pretty good, so I purchased my first big farm, which a neighbor of mine had. It was 496 acres. So in 2001, we established Circle F Farms.
But within a few years, Woody experienced a tragic event.
2013 was a tough year for me. That's when my dad passed away. One day, I was sitting there and I got a phone call from my mama. She said, "We got a check today that was your daddy's." And she said, "I don't know what to do with it." She said, "I don't need this money." And she said, "I just want to give it to you and put it in your business." And I said, "I know about that money. I'd put that money up for Daddy a retirement." I told her, I said, "Look here, Daddy loved Brahman cattle." I said, "Let's take this money and buy some Brahman cattle." And I said, "That'd be in honor of my daddy." I said, "We'll put them here." So she said, "Son, there's nothing in the world make me more happier than you do that." She said, "I love Brahman just as much as your daddy did." And she said, "Let's do it." So I had a good friend of mine that I'd done a little bit of business with. He is, his name is Milton Carranza. So Milton is from College Station, Texas. And I called him and kindly told him what me and Mama agreed on. I said, "Milton," I said, "I want to buy a set of Brahman cattle, and I said, I want you to help me get them. And I said, I want you to go out and find the best ones that ever walked." I said, "I want to buy them, and I want to buy them, to put them on this place in honor of my daddy." So to make a long story short, from the last few years, we got 580 some registered females, and every female on my place that I haven't raised has a V8 brand or a Hudgens brand. And then we turned around and done the same thing with bulls, and we swapped them up. We'd put a Hudgens on a V8 cow and a V8 cow on a Hudgens bull, and we'd mix them up. So the only brands that's on my place, Circle F Farms, is either a V8, Hudgens, or a Circle F. I think there's approximately pushing around 800 registered Brahman females on my place.
Commercial producers across the southern U.S. have always relied on Brahman genetics, and now more cattlemen and women everywhere recognize the value of the breed. And along with commercial producers, farm-to-plate producers across the country have an advantage with Brahman genetics that other breeds cannot match.
Flies don't bother them as bad. They graze all day. You don't see them in the shade. They can take this heat. They'll graze. They'll fill up and they might go to shade, but they They pretty tough to this weather. Our part of the country is hot and humid. That's becoming a big thing all over the U.S. now. It's just the extreme hot weather is tough on animals, and it's gonna get along a whole lot better with eared cattle. You take these Brahman bulls and cross them back on Boss Taurus cows, you're gonna have that high vigor, high utilities, high, low birth weight, high weaning weights you're gonna have, and big yearling weights, because you just can't beat that cross. It's just the best of both worlds when you cross a Brahman with anything, but Brahmans do Brahmans, get these full-blooded animals, but we also breed Hereford bulls and Angus bulls back to these Brahman cattle to get these F1s. It's just to fit different people's programs. Everybody's different and got their own thing. And
We got F1 Brangus, which we use the 44 Farms Angus bulls and the Gardner Angus bulls. And then we have some F1 Brayfords that we use Johnny Harris Greenview Farm Hereford bulls. And then we're gonna use some R.A. Brown Red Angus bulls.
we do that just for our customer needs. And we also use a few of our black bulls and our Brayford bulls too in our commercial program.
Some of the Black Angus, straight Black Angus cows, we're breeding back to Brahman bulls to get the F1 product off of that, and crossed them with some Hereford bulls and some Angus bulls, red and black Angus, and the calves off of those are just phenomenal. Quarter blood Brahman, that really takes off for ribeye and marbling, and the quarter bloods mainly are producing cattle for the meat market. We're producing quality grade heifers here with our calves. At weaning time, we put them all together, and then we'll go in and make selections based on their growth and their feed efficiency. And we'll go in there and do a lot of culling on those. And we'll keep some of the heifers back, put back into the herd. Culls will go to the sale barn. We'll cull the steers also, but mainly the steers will go for the meat market.
May of 2021, we had an opening of Circle F Meats. We got a full meat market, which, comes off Circle F Farms. Kindly blows me away how well it's doing.
Every time we come through here, we make sure we have a cooler in the back of the truck so we can stop and get some of these good Circle F steaks. Hamburger meat is exceptional too. We like it.
Our butchers are highly skilled, so if you want a particular cut of meat, they are happy to cut that. We offer marinated steaks, we offer wrapped or vacuum sealed steaks.
After the break,
We're not seeing the issues with the heat affecting the fertility of the bull.
when the American Rancher returns, hear how two customers from different parts of the country are succeeding with Circle F Farms Brahman genetics. Stay with us. Welcome back to the American Rancher. Woody Folsom and his family operate Circle F Farms in Baxley, Georgia. Since launching the operation in 2001, Woody and his ranch manager, Joe Eason, developed a Brahman seed stock program of excellence. And now, customers from across the U.S. are reaping the rewards. We start in Arcadia, Florida, where Patrick Hill and Ray Hinman run Deer Creek Cattle Company.
We've had the ranch here since 1984 and really started with the introduction of Brahman genetics about 10 years ago. Well, we were a commercial cow-calf operation. In 2013, I acquired the herd and started with about 450 head of primarily English type Boss Taurus commercial cross cattle, and very quickly realized that the amount of Boss Taurus genetics that they had weren't working for our environment. With the heat, mosquitoes, insects, flooding, drought, you name it. We may get 2 ideal months out of the year, and the rest of it we're fighting something. And that's when I decided to introduce Brahman genetics to the herd. That's how we found Circle F Farms, trying to find the best, and the Brahman genetics that we're using are superior to anything that we've incorporated here in the past. one thing that we've struggled with different Brahman genetics, different Brahman breeders, is disposition. One of the things that I'm pleased with most with the Circle F bulls is their disposition and how easy they are to work with.
They're good on traveling. Down here in the South, I mean, sometimes they got to go a pretty good ways to keep up with these cows, and they do a real good job.
The genetics that Circle F offers, that's really what has drawn us to their animals. And at this point, we've purchased in the neighborhood of 50 bulls from Circle F in the last 3 years. They work out great, and you can see they provide us with a superior heifer. We get more weight out of the steer calves, more bone, more depth, and basically putting more weight on the scale.
We've just been very fortunate to have the Circle F product.
Next, we're in Stockton, Missouri, where Judy and Kevin Fries run a successful Brahman program, which is showing ranchers in Missouri that Circle F Brahman genetics are succeeding in the heartland of America, not just in the South.
We're a small Brahma F1 cattle operation. We're primarily doing F1 breeding females, trying to bring the Brahma influence into the Southwest Missouri area.
The main reason we went to Brahma is over the last 10 years, the weather patterns in Missouri has changed. The average temperatures went up 3 to 5 degrees. A lot of the cows are struggling making it through the summer times. So we was looking for some way of getting the hybrid vigor up to where they can handle the heat, they can handle the pests. Finding is with these purebred Brahmas and the F1 Brahma bulls that we sell, we're not seeing the issues with the heat affecting the fertility of the bull. And so we are seeing more cows settle in this excessive heat in June, July, and August.
Woody just happened to have a sale in 2020 and got on the online sale and bought our first 2 Brahma bulls from him. As a matter of fact, one of those bulls is still my foundation herd bull today. We do some backgrading. We're actually raising our own heifers, our Charbray and Brayford heifers. So we've backgrounded them. We've put in our own little small feedlot there at the house so we could see what the performance did, how they performed for us. I can make my cuts. I'm very selective on what females or males get kept for breeding stock to be sold. But then was just extremely pleased with the vigor of these animals and how well they did when we put them in that feedlot situation. They come in, they don't get sick, they start eating, and they just continue to grow.
Well, that's what right now we are introducing a lot of these F1 bulls along with the heifers. The heifers are no problem to sell. The F1 bulls, Judy started taking the very top end of the bulls and not steering them. And we started doing that this year. We've actually had some bigger producers that have the black cows or the baldy-based cows come out and look at them. They've struggled the last 4 or 5 years with heat stress, pink eye, different things like that the Brahma have always been able to help with. Their concern is, again, the all the way through the process of getting those to the facilities and see how they grade on the rate. Circle F has shared some of that with us. They're having very good success with the go ahead and processing those animals all the way through. I mean, we come out and they do a wonderful steak feed the night before the sale. The meat's tender, it's juicy, it's got a great flavor. I would put it against any steaks I've had in major restaurants because of that. We're trying to make an animal that we can put into a breeding program that's going to give them the high marbling, consistency that they need, the ribeye, the tenderness, and that's some of the things that whenever you look at these Brahma cattle versus other Brahma cattle, we're seeing way more of that positive trait.
I would have to say Woody and Joe and Dylan and the guys, they've got one of the top programs started, and they just keep trying to improve year after year to make it better. They want the best animals out there. They want the best representation for the Brahma breed. To me, being on the small side, I kind of connect with the small-time breeders. I love that they started out small and that they're growing quickly, but they don't forget their roots. They don't forget that they started out small.
Up next,
when you take the Brahman breed and cross it with any other non-Brahman derivative breed, you receive what we know as maximum heterosis.
your chance to put high-performance Circle F Brahman genetics to work in your program is coming up. Details after the break here on The American Rancher. Welcome back to The American Rancher. After starting his entrepreneurial ambitions as a young car salesman, Woody Folsom has since created a thriving Brahman seed stock operation in Baxley, Georgia, that centers on performance Circle F Brahman genetics. For Woody, his success in developing Brahman genetics goes back to fundamentals. Offer customers value with genetics that enhance the performance of crossbred cattle.
Over 80% of the cattle in the world are Brahman or Brahman-influenced cattle. And of course, along the southern United States, it's a necessity that cattle, in order to not only survive, but thrive, must be Brahman or Brahman-influenced cattle. So, as we look at seed stock operations such as Circle F Farms and a number of operations across the southern United States, they're incorporating Brahman and Brahman-influenced genetics. And the superiority behind that is not only due to their environmental adaptability, but when you take the Brahman breed and cross it with any other non-Brahman derivative breed, you receive what we know as maximum heterosis. And in fact, many times it's up to 10% of increase of weaning weights. With that, of course, you have increased maternal abilities, convenience traits. We've already talked about the environmental adaptability. So there's a lot of things that you achieve when you take the Brahman breed and cross it with other breeds to enhance the Brahman percentage in those cattle. And not only do we know them from the female side, but there's carcass research and other research programs that have been done at land-grant universities across the United States where the Brahman breed continues to improve from carcass quality. Of course, many studies being done today on the healthiness of Brahman and Brahman-influenced beef. So the Brahman breed is extremely important, not only in the U.S. beef industry, but it's demanded across the southern United States.
We've had some changes here this year at Circle F Farms. Our production sale that we're gonna have October 14th, 2023, usually we sell, our registered gray Brahman heifers and bulls, and then we always do the F1s, which is the Brangus and Brayford. But this year at our sale on October 14th, 2023, we're gonna have 300 bred heifers. Will be 8th blood Brahman, mostly black-hided. We bred these heifers sex Siemens bulls. We're gonna have a buyback program for the steers. All our 8th blood Brahman heifers will be confirmed bred. We're gonna have a good selection of open registered gray Brahman heifers as well. This year, we're gonna have the best offering of bulls we've ever offered to this date. We're gonna have our gray Brahman bulls, F1 Brangus and F1 Brayford bulls. Good selection, good, hard, solid bulls ready to go to work. We deliver all our bulls to the lower 48. When you get them home, we guarantee our bulls and we guarantee they're ready to go to work.
Woody Folsom's known throughout the country for his customer service, and certainly that bleeds over from his car dealership into the Circle F Farms. There's no question that Circle F Farms is probably one of the most progressive seed stock operations in the United States and probably one of the largest Brahman and Brahman-influenced breeders east of the Mississippi River. As many of our viewers know, Woody Folsom's done a phenomenal job. When he started, he bought some of the more superior or more elite genetics in the Brahman breed. Since then, he's taken what I would consider probably somewhere around 700 head of cattle. Today, roughly 100 of those are bred to Brahman bulls. The remainder are bred to either Hereford, Angus, or Red Angus bulls to produce F1 females and bulls that are all marketed through his production sale that's held each fall in Baxley, Georgia at his ranch.
Commercial and farm-to-table producers across the country, the opportunity to add performance Brahman genetics to your program is coming October 14th at the Circle F Farms production sale in Baxley, Georgia. Over 400 head of performance, purebred, and F1 cross females and bulls will be offered.
You can start viewing cattle at 9 o'clock a.m. on that Friday morning. All throughout the day, there'll be different things going on at the farm, and Friday night is when things really kick off. We'll have a steak dinner at our produce barn that you and your entire family is welcome to come and enjoy. There'll be some live music there this year. Just a really good time, really laid back, really an opportunity to get to meet our staff and the family at Circle F Farms. Saturday morning, we'll kick things off bright and early with a breakfast starting at 7:30. We also have a surprise this year, so you can have a coffee with the Colonel during our breakfast first thing Saturday morning. Our auctioneer, Mr. Steve Frischkup, will be bringing a devotional that morning. That's going to be live right there at our cell arena. Throughout the day, you'll have the opportunity to have mule and buggy rides. It's a really fun family atmosphere. Lots of events going on. There'll be cornhole games to play, opportunities to look at the horses that the guys work the cattle on. Just a lot of fun mixed in with this cattle sale. Lunch will be served starting at 11:30. Then there'll be lots of good food to eat. Then starting at 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, we will begin the Circle F Fall Sale right there at our Circle F Sale Arena. So we invite everyone to come out, enjoy all of the festivities with us, enjoy the weekend with your family, right in the heart of South Georgia. For more information on the Circle F Farm Sale, you can go to circleffarms.com. You can find the schedule for the weekend's event. You can see a full listing of all of the cattle that will be available. You can also request a catalog that will be sent directly to your mailbox that will have all lots listed in it. If you're unable to attend, right here in Baxley, Georgia, make sure you go to Superior Click to Bid.
We hope you enjoyed our show. To find out more about us, visit our website, theamericanrancher.com, or connect with us on Facebook or YouTube. I'm Pam Minnick for our entire American Rancher team. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.